welcome back to Planet Dawn. I'm currently at the laundromat and I am waiting for my carpets to come out, so I decided to film an intro. A few weeks ago, it was like a rainy Saturday and I spent the day crafting and I watched all 3 Hangover movies, and that inspired me to do a bachelor party for Sam as I'm working on the wedding. So this vlog is going to concentrate on the process of making the Hangover Planet Dawn style. This project is yet another deviation from my plan that I had as I went into the year. So I am not really sure at what point this wedding is going to get done. My fingers are crossed that it gets done by November, but we shall see. I have been working on sewing for the wedding. I've spent a lot of time working on my version of this dress. Tried a few different configurations because every time I would come across a ribbon or a trim that I thought I would be able to recreate the fabric with, because I couldn't find the fabric, I would pick it up and then I would come home and give it a try, but nothing was quite right. So the one that I ended up with was the best configuration I could come up with to recreate this dress. As you can see, I ended up doing a lot of there's no other way to get them on, but I pretty much had to stick each little rhinestone to the dress. I could get that sort of glimmery rhinestone fabric look because I couldn't find anything that had the right dimensions to be able to recreate this. So it was tedious, but I did it for a couple of hours each day, so it wasn't something that I had to, that I just sat and did in one run. So I had the time to work on my Hangover themed project. I do not see this dress as a good candidate for the wedding, but it's definitely in the running for the reception. My post and my crafts in general, I try to keep everything pretty mild, PG-13, because even though I do specifically say my crafts are not for children, if you have dolls involved, you're gonna draw children. So my desire to be edgy doesn't make me want to scar children for life. So without further ado, I hope you enjoy a very mild version of the Hangover Planet Dawn style.
Every time I start a Planet Dawn subplot, I think it will only take a week. Then, a month later, I'm writing the script and I think, well, a week is a construct of Earth. Thank goodness Sam and his friends are not on Earth. I'll admit right up front, I used a lot more AI than usual in this project, but since my electric bill is going to be $400 regardless, I may as well eat the fruit of the data centers. This was ambitious. I wanted a few different sets to make up the storyline. I had some slot machine printables from Lena Weiss. She's a great craft YouTuber, and her printables are amazing. I used a casino SVG file I had on hand to make table games. Now, I did not have the time or patience to make detailed chips, so I just made some generic clay circles. It worked out great. This storyline takes place in Palmyra City and the Velvet Mirage Casino Resort. Space is always on my mind, so the most efficient way to have both a craps table and a roulette table was to make one on each side. I also made a cashier's cage, which took a surprisingly long time, but it was totally worth it.
Yay!
This project kept leading to other projects. For example, once I made the slot machines, I pulled out my light buckets and yikes, they were a mess. It took a few hours to test and organize all the lights. I used the AI function in my editing app to add movement to my own photos. This helped me have enough footage to make reels and stories for my Instagram. I know AI is a controversial subject. I would love to know your thoughts in the comments. After the casino, the guys hit the town. The Crimson Ink Tattoo Studio is the only set that took exactly the amount of time I budgeted to build it. This came together in one evening because I had a printable. I wanted to include as many bachelor party tropes as possible in this storyline. This is me checking off the drunken tattoo. Then they were off to Etoile for drinks and dancing girls. This was another pretty quick set. The issue was the casino was taking up the entire work surface. I had to take the casino set down to put the club set up. I didn't make new outfits for the dancers, just opened the front of outfits that were previously made as part of a circus set. As I said in my intro, I watched all 3 Hangover movies one weekend while I was crafting. I noticed in the final movie, there was barely any hangover. I wanted the final scene of this storyline to be the hangover, so I got busy putting together a hotel suite. I really wanted to make as little as possible. Other than the background, which is foam board and contact paper, the only new thing I made was the couch. After a nightcap, these fellas were exhausted. Poor Billy had it worst of all. Sam had a wild night in Palmyra City. Now, as of now, I don't have any more side projects planned. I'm focusing on my normal October project, Boo Bash and the wedding. Please consider liking and subscribing to see how this year's Boo Bash turns out. I hope you enjoyed Sam's bachelor party, and thank you so much for watching.